Okay, today is Tuesday morning, and because of the busyness of last week, we couldn't connect, but I'm here with Mr. Borden,
Good morning.
and we are going to do my mentoring session from last week, which was on Standard 2.
Great, awesome. So I had a good deal of a little bit of time to take a good look at what was going on into the classroom. Looking at this very first one, English language learners. Did the candidate use appropriate instructional strategies to help English language learners learn the content being taught? So as I look at that, I'm not too sure if with the FOSS kits, sometime they'll have a section with for ELL. Something that I would suggest is going online, looking at some resources for ELL students.
Okay.
The other thing that I think would really help also in the classroom is get some videos. I know that it's a benchmark, but supplementing with some additional videos from online, some kid videos, will do very good for some of the ELL learners in your classroom, if there are any. I've used that before, and it seems to catch the students' attention. It cuts back on you having to give so much one-on-one instruction. I could give you some of those websites. Another one,
Would you intend for that to be in a small group format?
I would do it whole group. That way everyone could be together, and plus it'll engage everyone. Again, you'll have someone talking and then giving a little bit more of a visual to those ELL students. So if you're talking about rocks and minerals, oh, now they're connecting. Okay, rocks, minerals, and then also they're real kid friendly. So and I pulled a couple up this weekend, and like I said, I will show you those.
Okay.
Another good website I think that you could use for that purpose is readworks.org. I don't know if you use that. That's a very good website because the reading in it is based on a student's lexile. So where a student, maybe ELL, doesn't have, a very high vocabulary, you might be able to find something that would work for them in a lower grade level and easier for them to read. So those are ones that I have used. So
Cool. All right.
I've go ahead, English language learners in the way, and I'm going to go ahead and click basic. Candidate is familiar with some of the instructional strategies for working effectively with English language learners, but does not consistently use those strategies. And so it's just because I didn't see anything really in the lesson that was geared to them. Okay, let's go. Another thing I just wanted to touch base on before we continue through this, I really liked how this week you had like a reporter that was giving the answers for the different groups. One suggestion I would have for that classroom, I noticed that you have 5 kids at a table. Those 2 that are their back to you, make them sit on the sides. Because you know what I'm saying? Because I know if you can put 3 over here and then 1 here, 1 there, that would eliminate a lot of that chatter that I've seen certain groups. And you might want to split a couple of those guys. Yeah. I've had them last year. In fact, I'm going to talk to one of them about it. But that'll help you a lot. And then even if you wanted to just make your group smaller, because it looked like you had more tables in there.
There's 8 tables. And the reason I divided it that way is because the amount of samples that I had.
Oh, okay.
So to kind of do it fairly.
I got you.
So everyone could have the same exposure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't make more groups.
I got you.
Otherwise, then they wouldn't have.
I got you. They didn't have the materials.
Yeah.
And stuff. Okay. That makes sense then. That makes sense. Another just a little suggestion I was thinking too is maybe some kind of PowerPoints on the rocks and minerals also. You don't have to create them. They're already created all over. And I looked at some of these things over the weekend just to make sure they were in there, and they have some really good ones that you can use. And that might also, that's another reason I use those things is to sometimes that'll cool and keep the room a little bit quieter, and less stressful in there. Did the candidate integrate multiple perspectives in his or her lessons to develop and respect understanding of cultural differences? So, I'm gonna mark this basic, and here's a suggestion I have. Because it was the mines and minerals, maybe find out, I know you talked about globally, and maybe we just haven't gotten to that part yet, but if you haven't got to the global part, I would pull something in like the mining in different countries, different places. And that way, when you're doing the different countries, you're hitting those different cultures, that different diversity. Like diamonds, I think, is what, in Africa or whatever, and
Yeah.
things of that nature. And then you're pulling that right in. I'm gonna go ahead and mark you proficient here with the learning differences, because I did see you go around, you did have them in groups. So any person that's in a group, maybe they're not understanding something, through that collaboration, they're able to, get other ideas. So I do like the way you did that, so I'm gonna mark you proficient. You demonstrated the ability, you had organizers, which are always good, something for them to fill out. Again, in the groups, if someone's having a hard time, they can collaborate with their neighbors. So I like that, because, and I noticed too, you don't have it separated like some people would do. Sometimes people want to go with all the high students and then all of those students. It looked like you had them a good mixture of all in one group. So that was really good.
Good.
Gonna go basic with the differentiated instruction, just because I didn't see where that was at. Again, that would be something I would add to like the bottom of the lesson plan. For this person who's not getting it, what am I gonna do? Or like that paper that that admin set out, where it said, okay, this is what I want them to learn. Did they learn it? What am I gonna do with those who didn't learn it? What am I gonna do with those who did learn it? And then just have them identified. Valuing students, I'm gonna go ahead and put proficient, because I think just some of your patience in there with some of those guys. You value their education, you let them talk, you let them give their thoughts. I didn't see you cutting them off or anything. So you let them talk, where some teachers are more direct, and they just give the instruction, that's it, now get to work. You get them involved. Yeah. They get to touch the manipulative, so that's where I'm gonna mark you on that. So
Good.
I think just the biggest thing is maybe that seating arrangement.
Okay.
And the other thing is use that card, use the behavior card, and start using that with some of those guys, because they really need. It'll help them, I believe.
If it wasn't made clear, Mr. Borden is the sixth grade teacher, so that's why he's referencing some of these kids that he still may be familiar with, because he
Yes.
remembers them from last year.
Absolutely, very well. I remember them very well.
Okay. Okay, well, I wanted to make a comment.
Okay.
I gave them a couple of questions because of the heading of Standard 2 to kind of get the thinking going for both
Right.
myself and them, where they rated the answers to the questions. When you come to school every day, when you come to my classroom every day, do you feel valued? Do you feel respected? And they gave me those answers on a Likert type scale. The second one was, do you feel that students who may come from a different cultural background than yours help you to become a better person? And they gave those answers. I have them on my cards right here.
Okay, and I do remember that, because I did jot that down, talking about that survey. And then again, I would just say, like, give some of your experience, and then maybe let them write, and then do the discussion, because they got a little excited, some of them.
Yeah.
A little too excited.
The last one says, when I present material to you, do you think I move too fast, too slow, or just right? Before moving on to the next topic.
Right.
And here's their responses. Three of them thought that I was too slow.
Okay.
10 thought I was too fast.
Uh-huh.
And 16 thought I was just right.
That's good.
How do you make heads or tails of that?
Yeah. And well, you know what I would do, and I don't know if there's a possibility to see if any of those are ELL, or see how many of those maybe were IEP, and maybe the guys that are saying that just right, that might be some ELL students or something, and the ones that said you were going too fast, maybe that's some IEP students that aren't comprehending, need you to slow down, and then just to see who are the ones that said you're too slow.
I thought it was
But that's
interesting.
a good gauge, yeah.
I mean, I had no clue what the feedback was going to be,
Right,
so I
right.
thought I'd bring it to you
Yeah.
and make a comment.
That's what I would look at. I look at what was the kind of like the demographic of those who said that.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't anonymous, was it? Was it anonymous?
No. They
Okay,
put their
good.
names
So
in
you'll
here.
be able to look at it
Yeah.
and see who's who.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Okay. Okay. Are we good for today?
We are good.
I appreciate
We're
it.
good. You're welcome.